Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and here at PDAC 2023 in Toronto. Today I have the honor and pleasure to introduce you Ivan Fairhall, the CEO of Mawson Gold. Hello, Ivan.
Hiya, good to see you.
Thank you for your time. So let's talk about Mawson Gold. What's going on?
So we've had a big year last year, produced a PEA which showed that our Rajapalot project in Finland is a really fantastic discovery. It's got great project economics, and really we've already found a mine, and we've shown that the capital cost is manageable to build. It's got good returns, and importantly, it's a low cost deposit to mine and operate based on where it is in the world. It had all-in sustaining costs of $824 an ounce. So a great little project we've got there in Finland, and it's going to get a lot bigger, which we can come on to in a little bit. The other thing that happened last year was a real game changer for Mawson shareholders is we spun out a company called Southern Cross Gold, and we now own 51% of that business, and it's a very valuable thing, and I think we should spend a little bit of time talking about that as well.
Yeah, perfect. You just talked about Finland, so it's a gold-cobalt project, right?
That's right.
And that's also something unique, a USP for you especially. It's not just gold, it's also cobalt. Everybody is looking for that, so the future needs especially also cobalt for the batteries. So how are the grades? Let's talk just a bit, not too deep, but how is the situation there?
Yeah, sure. Look, the great thing about the project is it does have cobalt and it's in Europe. And if this asset was in production today, it would be Europe's third largest cobalt mine.
Wow.
So it is significant in Europe, not just on a gold basis. It would be the sixth largest EU gold mine if it was in production, and it would be the third largest EU cobalt mine. And we all know that the EU needs a lot of cobalt. It's got a battery metal, an automobile industry that wants to transition to EVs, and cobalt is a very important part of that story. So to have a cobalt resource in the EU is a thing of significant strategic importance. So the grades, you asked about the grades, it's worth about 1/10 of the value of the, so you imagine how much gold we're producing, about 1/10 is the equivalent of the cobalt. And it's a very simple process, a flotation process that hangs off the edge of the gold process to extract the cobalt. So it's a very simple thing for us to do, but a really valuable, strategically speaking, a very valuable part of our story.
Wow. Have you ever already get some support of the EU or from Finland in order to support you in the country?
Yeah, absolutely. The project receives a lot of support. It's got public support, and I think part of that is to do with our critical minerals component.
Yeah.
People see the opportunity there, but also practically speaking, we get financial support through being part of government programs, both Finnish government and EU government, supporting us technically, providing co-funding for things like metallurgical test work, exploration processes. They really are desperate for us to how to find more cobalt, how to extract the most cobalt out of what we find, and also right down to things like social studies to make sure that we understand the impact of bringing cobalt mines into production. So it's quite a wide-ranging level of support, and I think that will only grow over time as things like the EU critical metal strategy gets rolled out.
Yes, and that's really, really important. I'm a European, and so I'm looking forward for your project.
You understand it as well as anyone.
Exactly. And let's go from Finland now to Australia. So you just you mentioned Southern Cross Gold. You have a stake of 51%. What's the strategic? What's the next plan with your stake?
Yeah, that 51% stake in Southern Cross is very valuable thing. So the market value of that today is about 60 million Canadian dollars.
Wow.
It's nearly the entire value of Mawson's market cap. So it's a thing of huge value in the company. Now, in terms of our job, really, is to make sure shareholders receive the maximum benefit for that. And so coming up with a strategy, and we're in a process of going through and looking at the alternatives to ensure that we are able to surface that value for shareholders. We've got a very valuable project in Rajapalot. We've got this incredibly valuable investment or stake in Southern Cross Gold. And I don't believe, based on where our share price is today, that we're really seeing the value of those things combined reflected. And so really it's our job to surface that value, and I think that we're going to come up with a strategy that sees value created just by articulating what we've already got in our assets let alone going on and doing the value accretive work of exploration and development and all the other things that you get companies here telling you all about every day.
Okay, so the investors can expect new drill programs for the future in order also to support the value of the company?
Yeah, that's right. I think the assets themselves, both Southern Cross, they're drilling aggressively at the moment. They're well funded, and Rajapalot, like, we're really only at the beginning. The PEA didn't mark the end of the exploration story. In a lot of ways, it actually marked the beginning. And what we've been able to show with the PEA is that we've really already effectively found a mine, and with every ounce now that we find, the incremental value that adds to the project is huge. And so I see where we've got the project today gives us a mandate to go and find more, because we know what we're looking. We've already found the mine, and now we can just load up the value by adding ounces into it, making it bigger, more strategic, longer life, all of those things, and just increasing the value. So we've got a really great starting position. That's what we put out there with the PEA.
Wow, that's really impressive. Thank you very much, Ivan. And dear investors, you heard it. Ivan Fairhall, the CEO of Mawson Gold, just introduced his company, and the Mawson Gold is doing a really good job. Everything is doing well, lots of development. The financial basis is set, and so check out the company, and we will keep you posted with the next news.